All right, we are live,
Woo.
rocking and rolling. Okay, so we're back again with another episode of Silver Lining TV, where we motivate and inspire people to create better life through real estate. And I am joined with my business partner, Lauren Whitaker. Again, how are you doing, Lauren?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing pretty good. I'm thankful to have you on again.
I
I
know.
think you're just. I know we joke about naming us the Antoine and Lauren show. So
We really should. It's
yeah,
just our little podcast now.
yeah. So and we'll be. Listen, I love having you on. So we'll keep it this if we have to. What we want to do, everyone, is talk to you guys about the misconceptions in the housing market. Okay. Now there is a lot of noise in the market, really just in the world, right? There's a lot of things going on, a lot of uncertainty, and what we find is whenever that happens, typically the real estate market has a shift,
Yeah.
right? You'll start seeing a shift in the market. What is a market shift? Well, um, a market shift is just when the activities that sellers and buyers were doing to get the market to where it's at, those activities change. Maybe um, less sellers are willing to put the home on the market, which we've been seeing a lot of.
hmm
A shift could now be less buyers are willing to buy homes, right? So that's a market shift. So we're going to get into, though, for buyers and sellers, the misconceptions that we're hearing to give you clarity. So then, you make the right decision as far as entering the market. So, Lauren, let's get into it. Let's talk about a buyer myth. And actually, you know what? We have a pretty. Ooh, there we go. I'm gonna zoom in. We have a pretty infographic for you guys, so you guys can. Oh, maybe if I can. There we go. Zoom in a little bit. Is that good?
Yeah, that's
Good for you?
Yeah.
Okay. So we're gonna hop into it. So Lauren, what's the buyer myth?
So the first one says I should wait until home prices fall and mortgage rates fall, but it's not a good idea. I've done a video on it before where, people are like, oh, I'll wait till the market drops. I'll wait till the market drops. Well, in this market, we're seeing we're at a steady pace. We're not going up, not going down. We're just steady, which is a good thing. So when people are like, oh, I'll just wait till the market drops, you're trying to catch up to a train that's always moving. So you'll never really get there. But when home prices fall, typically we'll see a spike in like interest rates or mortgage rates. And so when those mortgage rates either stay the same or your interest rate goes up, you're ultimately you're going to be paying the same. So it's really just kicking yourself in your butt.
Yeah, and what I find is, like, you want to save a certain amount of money. Um, let's say the person that wants to save $10,000, so then they have the money for a down payment, or they have enough money to outpace the appreciation of a home, of a property. You're not going to save more than what the home is appreciating, not in this market. So you're better off just finding the right loan program that will allow you to not put that amount of money down and get into the home sooner rather than later, so you can ride the equity wave, right? So yeah, and like she mentioned, we don't have a crystal ball. We don't know if there's ever going to be a crash again. Well, there probably will be a crash again. I'm not predicting that it will be anytime soon, but I do know that history does not repeat, it rhymes. So if it's crashed before, it could crash again.
Right.
However, I don't believe that it's going to happen anytime soon. And because of that, the same people that 3 years ago were maybe having those thoughts, but they took action despite how they felt about waiting for the market or the mortgage rates to fall. Those same people are really loving the equity that they built in their home.
For sure, yeah. We do what we call easy CMAs, and what those are is we take recent homes that have sold and we compare them to clients' homes that have sold in the past. And there was one in particular, he bought his home for like $89,000, and I think the most it was like 106 to like 140.
Yeah.
And so that was just crazy to look at and to explain to him, like, hey, your home value has gone up a ton. And he was like, yeah, I saw that. That's crazy. So it's just good to show people like it's possible.
Yeah, and that was only a couple years ago, by the way, when he bought, if we're talking about the same person.
Yeah, it's 2019.
Yep, 2019. So think about that. And there's been people where I've helped buy a home, and like literally within the same year, they were able to sell it for like 10 grand more.
Yeah.
Right. So I think we beat that one down.
Yeah.
So we're going to move on to the next one. I'm going to take this one. So a seller myth is I can set the asking price for my house at whatever I want. So if I know it's worth 200,000, well, due to the market, I can list it at 250. Well, the reality is you can't just pick any price, all right? Especially right now. And what I mean by that is there's an art and a science between like when you're listing your house and selling it for top dollar, okay? You want to make sure that you are fully understanding when you put your home on the market, you are now competing against other homes on the market. I don't care if there's a low inventory or not, okay? At the end of the day, the buyer is going to pick the best house that they believe fits their needs. And if there's multiple homes that look like yours, now you're competing against multiple homes, right? They're going to make their decision out based on what? The price. So if they can get the same type of home for $5,000 less, which home do you think they're going to offer on? The one that's priced a little lower. That doesn't mean they'll get it at a lower price, but it just means you have more interest on that property. So keep that in mind. Just because we're in a seller's market, in a hot seller's market, doesn't mean you can overprice the home by a huge amount. Okay. And there is a shift. And that shift is with the interest rates slightly ticking up, you may have some buyers that aren't going to be willing to pay 20 grand more for your house today, right? So you got to keep that in mind as well. Now, it does say right here that a real estate professional can help. If you are about to list your home, and stop me if I start talking too much, I can go.
Good.
If you are about to list your home and you and your agent are just talking about the price of what you could sell it for, and you're not talking about net, you're having the wrong conversation.
Yep.
The conversation needs to be stemmed around what do you want to net when you sell a home, not the price. Two different things. So if your agent isn't breaking that down to you, I'm not gonna tell you to get another agent, but I'm gonna tell you to challenge your agent to have the right conversation. Okay. All right, we're gonna move on. Do you have anything to add, by the way?
Yeah, I mean, just have the right conversations, knowing what to ask, because if those questions are not being asked, then you never know. So, maybe just doing your own little bit of research. It's good.
Which is this, by the way. So if you're tuning into this, you're doing your research. So kudos to you.
Right? Yeah.
Cool.
So the next buyer myth we have up here is waiving the home inspection is a good idea if I want my offer to stand out. Yeah, I mean, it could help you stand out, but the condition of the home and everything like that you would want to know, you probably want to get that. Just because older homes, you want to make sure that it's draining properly, it doesn't have termites, God forbid, or, lead-based paint. You want to make sure everything is in order, because you don't want to get in your home and then everything goes wrong as soon as you move in.
Absolutely. Yeah. There is a strategy, and I don't mind sharing it. I mean, you can waive to negotiate repairs, but never waive the inspection.
Right.
You always want to know what you're getting into. I'm not saying that you should fire your agent if they tell you to waive the inspection. However, consider your options. If they tell you, hey, waive inspection completely, and your agent's telling you that, you may want to question them, because you would rather lose out on a house that has major issues versus buying a house, and as soon as you move into it, you figure out that there's 10,000, 20,000. It could even be $40,000, $50,000 of work that you got to get done to it. Okay. So always get an inspection. Just because you're asking for an inspection does not make your offer weaker.
No.
If you waive inspection negotiations, that can make your offer stronger. Okay. Right. That's one thing you can do. So talk to your agent about that.
For sure.
Cool. Oh, this is me again. So it seems like I'm talking a lot. I talk a lot, guys. Seller myth. I have to renovate my house before selling it. This is a very, very common one. So what you want to do is make sure that the money that you're putting into your home, you're going to actually get a return on it. Okay. For example, some key areas in your home that buyers are going to pay attention to. Number one is going to be the kitchen. Okay. I think we all should know that. Number two is going to be the bathrooms. And then three, probably the most important thing is going to be the exterior front of the house, like the curb appeal, right? Believe it or not, sellers are already decided when they pull up in the driveway whether they want to write an offer or not on your property based on their first 10 seconds of looking at the house.
Yep.
Promise you. I've worked with hundreds of buyers, and I can't tell you how many times that as soon as we get out the car, they're already like, okay, just so you know, we're going to be writing an offer on this. It's like, well, let's make sure we look at everything first. Okay, so if you're going to be doing updates, make sure you are talking to your agent. I just kind of gave you a little brief idea of areas you should put money into the home, but also keep in mind too, because every agent, they may have their own opinion on this, but when it comes to paint, make sure that my suggestion for my clients is if you want to paint a house, don't do it. Instead, offer a paint credit, because most of the time when buyers are, especially first-time home buyers that are coming from renting where they're not able to customize their home space, their living space, and they're buying a property, one of the major exciting factors of them owning a home is the fact they get to customize it. So if you paint a whole house green just because it's your favorite color, the buyer that is like in love with your house, their favorite color is yellow. I mean, at the end of the day, they could look at your property as, you know what, I don't know if I want to, just buyers have different opinions on taste than you do. So there are other options to help save you time and money when it comes to listing your home and where to put your money. I would prefer you to keep your money in your pocket. Mm-hmm. All right. So keep that in mind. So make sure that if you are going to do renovations, some of the things I would recommend besides the kitchen and bathroom, more importantly, would be major systems, HVAC, roof. Make sure that stuff is good. Make sure if you have a basement, there's no leaks. Make sure the property functions well versus doing any cosmetic upgrades. Okay. Do you have anything to add to that?
Yeah, I mean, I think flooring is also a good one.
Yeah, that's a good one too.
And windows. I see a lot of people that they're like, but what about the windows? And I'm like, you know what? That is a good one. So, windows and floors for me are just maybe top priority.
Yeah. Now you see, she put so she works with buyers. Mm-hmm. Okay. She talks to buyers. One of the best agents you could talk to is an agent who works with buyers a lot because they could tell you exactly what a buyer is looking for. Okay. She just told you flooring. And then what was the other thing? The windows, especially as we're coming up to the summer season, spring, mm-hmm. They're going to be checking to make sure the windows are working. So again, just make sure those things are good. I know if you got flooring can be expensive. There is a such thing as a flooring credit. Yeah. Keep that in mind as well. So there are many different things you can do when it comes to the renovation part. Okay, and saving money. Is there anything else you want to add?
I was going to say windows, flooring, and then major systems and kitchens. Those mm-hmm. are the top things people look at.
If you got a leaking faucet, just fix it.
Yeah, making sure it's sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt.
Oh, you're good.
Making sure it doesn't move, because I don't know how many houses we've been in, and I'm like, okay. And I shake the faucet, and I'm like, wow.
Yeah, it's not even secure. Yeah, just the little things. And I know if you're living in a property for a while and there's issues with the home, it just becomes that's just the part of the house, mm-hmm. right? And it's you don't even see it no more. You just become numb to it. Well, trust me, buyers will see it.
Yeah.
So little bitty minor fixes, even cleaning.
Yeah, I was about to say.
That alone could be a renovation for some people. So let me stop before
we get in trouble.
I want to give a shout out to Angela. So Angela is our transaction coordinator. What's up, Angela? She says, always get an inspection. I 100% agree, myself and Lauren. Mm-hmm. give a shout out to Jordan. What's up, Jordan? Jordan is actually a past client of ours. Great guy. It's good to see you doing well, brother. Well, we're going to end it there. I think, we knocked it out the park. We try to keep it simple for you. I think what it really comes down to, if you have any questions about this, number one, make sure you talk to your real estate agent. Okay. That way you can get more clarity. We went in detail on a couple of things, but there's a lot more we can touch on. But make sure you're having the right conversations with your agent. With that being said, Lauren, how can people reach out to you if they want a great agent that is going to take care of them?
Well, gee, thanks. I am a great agent.
You are.
But you guys can reach out to me. My phone number is 765-250-6185. And then I'm also on Facebook, Lauren Whitaker. And my email is also just Lauren, LAUREN, at SLRGE.
SLREG.
There we go.
You said GE.
Dang it.
There we go.
.com.
There we go. There we go. Yeah, Lauren will take care of you. She's going to definitely make sure that she goes over this stuff with you before writing an offer, just to get you prepared again for this type of market, because there are misconceptions in the market. And if you don't have the correct information, it's going to be very difficult to really lock down a house when you have agents out here like myself, like Lauren, who we got our stuff together. We're making sure we're over educating our clients, so then we are putting ourselves in the best position to win. So reach out to Lauren. She'll be happy to take care of you. And yeah, we'll have her back on. Like I said, this is becoming like a weekly thing for us with Antoine and Lauren. So yeah, we will see you guys on the next one. I'm gonna end it like I always do. Our goal is to help you reach yours. If you guys need anything, just reach us on Facebook anytime. If you want a copy of this, email us, send me a message. I'll get it to you. All right, you guys take care.